What's happening? What's happening, people? I just wanted to talk a little bit about something I'm hearing a lot about online now, the Kwame Brown effect. I'm on my way to Oconee, South Carolina. It's way up in the mountains. I got a pretty good drive ahead of me. So I've been listening to Kwame now for over a month, I think. I got in maybe a couple of days, maybe a week after he made his first video responding to Matt Barnes and Stephen Stack 5, Stephen Jackson. And I've been there, full support from day one, and I still give the man all my support. He actually responded to a video I made not too long ago, where I kind of went in on some political issues, and he responded and seemed to be a upright, straightforward guy. Somebody I could actually chill with. But the Kwame Brown effect, I think, in my own opinion, I think it's, and I said this before, I think it's a much needed thing where certain people are being exposed, and those people, I actually said this, I think I sent the comment to Kwame. I sent a comment, or either I responded in one of my videos, but I said that what he's doing, making these videos, coming down, exposing these people, and all of the other YouTubers like myself making videos about the people and about the system. I think that it is an absolute must that we continue doing what we're doing. It's an absolute must that he continues doing what he's doing. I'm watching something on Rachel Nichols now, how she was caught on the hot mic saying something about this new media personality. I think her first name is Maria. I really don't pay attention to a lot of things like that, but I saw that, and I saw that Perkins, Jefferson were brought up, put in front of the camera to, I guess, resolve that or speak on that, or I don't know, sway the narrative. I don't know what it was exactly, what they intended those two to actually do. But what's becoming clear now is the fact that there is a system in place, and the Kwame Brown effect is exposing that system. So, I always say all things happen for a reason. All things happen for a reason. No such thing as coincidence. I also want to speak on the Tasha K interview with Kwame Brown. I thought that was very well produced. I thought that she was very ladylike. Kwame was very gentlemanlike. It was a very enlightening interview, in my own opinion. Another synchronistic thing about that interview is Kwame mentioned his birthday and Tasha K. They share the same birthday and the same year. Well, coincidentally, that is also my youngest brother's birthday, but off by one day. It's just off by one day. His birthday is on the 10th. His birthday is on the 11th, and their birthday is on March 10th. I believe, from what I heard, allegedly. Yeah, so March 10th, that's their birthday. My brother, he's older than them. My brother was born in 1980. My youngest brother. But his birthday is March 11th. And then my goddaughter, my niece, her birthday is March 12th. So they're all Pisces. And Pisces are very, very good people as far as I know. My brother is one of the best people I know. He's a good guy. He's a good man. Loyal man, I can't speak for all Pisces, but from what I know from him, he's a good guy. My little niece seems to be, she's only, I think she's 10 now. She's something else. That's my sweetheart. But yeah, the Kwame Brown effect is exposing those who otherwise would not be exposed right now. It's like turning up that carpet, like I said before in another video, pulling back that carpet and seeing what's underneath there, seeing all the dirt, seeing all the lint, the bobby pins, the pennies, the nickels and dimes, all the stuff that's been swept under the rug or covered over by a system is being exposed right now, and it's on a it's not only an actual thing that we're seeing right before our eyes, but I think it's also things going on behind the scenes that we're not seeing on a spiritual level. You know, I commend Kwame. I shot him out in my last video, but I'm also shouting out other people like Carcino and Self-Talk. You know, those guys, you guys are doing a real service for the community, you know, for humanity, in my own opinion. And I say humanity, I say to that extent because there are so many people like us that see things that go on every single day that we can't do anything about. We can't do anything about it. All we can do is say, well, you know, that's the way it is, and you know, gripe about it a little bit and maybe move on to something else. But that go along, get along gang, that thing is true in every, you know, on all spectrums. I mean, it's the janitor at McDonald's, all the way up to the head of some kind of hedge fund. You know, it's also called the good boy, or the good old boy network. I've heard that before. You know, the clique. You got to be in that clique, and it's not fair. You know, it's almost like discovering this new level of injustice, in my own opinion. It's a new type of injustice. You know, you got all these different types of injustice, and we don't have to go looking for any more because we got way more than enough now. But it's another type of injustice, if you ask me. And it came about through bullying. You know, Kwame Brown was bullied for 20 years. You know, it's like that when the kid that's being bullied all of a sudden starts fighting back and realize their own strength, then now nobody wants to fight anymore. Nobody wants to fight now. You know, nobody wants to fight because the rest of the school, all these other kids who had to endure bullying, and you see the bully every day and you try to avoid the bully, and all of a sudden the kid who got picked on the most is the strongest one, and he's fighting back. Guess what? Those other kids who were bullied, who had to endure bullying, they got his back. So nobody wants to fight now. Nobody wants to fight. Everybody's, you know, in the corner now, you know, try not to speak too loud. Or they try to paint this or make this perception as though they're not being affected. So they talk louder, you know, and they try to ignore the kid who's kicking ass. You know, that's what they try to do. But we can see you, man. And the worst thing that we can do right now as you know, we the people, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. Another synchronistic thing. I don't know if it's a synchronistic or not, but I was watching Netflix yesterday, and I guess Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, they are producing this show on Netflix called We the People, and it's pretty much breaking down and covering some of politics. Not really politics, but they're trying to break down and explain, how a bill works, how some of the amendments work, the Constitution, political type stuff. That I'm not really I'm not really the best at anything political. I mean, I've always kind of avoided and stayed away from politics. Like I said, I was reading Barack Obama's latest book, and I'm about halfway through, and I will finish it. But anyways, I'm staying away from politics. I'm not bringing. Somebody told me in the comments over the weekend, the best way to lose subscribers is to talk about politics. So I'm not going there. But yeah, that's what's going on right now. We're kicking ass and taking names, but we gotta continue. Gotta keep going. This system of injustice has been in place too long, and I guess Rachel Nichols. I don't like speaking on people I don't know, but it seems to me like that same system kind of turned on her, because I know she's been doing sports media for over 20 years now, and now all of a sudden she feels threatened because this new chick is on the scene, and she's not liking it, She's not liking it. She's feeling a little taste of her own medicine, and it doesn't feel good. When that snake turns around, that same snake you keep, you pulling that snake tail and it turns around and bites you. It doesn't feel good. That may not be the best metaphor, but you get the point. There's a system in place. There's a system in place with plenty of gatekeepers, and I'm starting to thank God every day that I didn't make it into that system, because I was trying to get into that system. I was with my books and my writings. I know I write well. I know I have great books, but sometimes you gotta allow things to fall in place on their own. Sometimes you can't force it. And I was trying to force a square peg into a round hole, or vice versa. And it wasn't working for me. But I still write. I'm still publishing my own books. And I'm not necessarily looking for anybody to give me a handout. Not anymore. Not anymore. I say like this now, if it comes, it comes. If it don't, it don't. I'll still be right. Yeah. But yeah, that's part of what my idea of what the Kwame Brown effect is. The KBE. That's what I think it is. It's this thing that emerged via
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
Mr. Kwame Brown. And it came about through something negative that eventually I think will be a highlight. When we look back on this time, it may come to a point where we won't ever remember how it came about. We'll just know that, the system was exposed for what it was, and the people spoke, and they spoke loud, and they ran off some how the crows that come into your garden and try to eat all your corn. We ran off the birds, shook it up. Muhammad Ali said, I shook up the world. That's exactly what Kwame is doing. And if I could do my part by making these videos, I'll continue to do them, because I don't, when it comes to making videos like this and talking about something that needs to be talked about, my gas tank is always on full. Always. I can do this for 10 years straight. That's what I stand for. That's what I am. I stand for the upright. I stand for the people who can't stand for themselves. And if whatever I can do as far as bringing about a better world, I'm gonna do that. That's what's in my books. I'm not talking about making the world worse in my books. I talk about making this world better. By any means necessary, and and through any means necessary, through any person. As long as it's a good person, I'm with them 100%. But you got to be good. That's all I'm saying. You got to be at least 80% good, because nobody's perfect. But if you just outright a liar, a thief, I can't rock with you. I'm sorry. That's just who I am. Can't rock with that. A hypocrite, I can't do that. Yeah, so I hope everybody had a good 4th of July. I had a great time at my mom's house. I put a couple videos up on, but the videos really didn't show. You can only show so much through video. You gotta actually be there and experience it, seeing, because this is the first 4th of July after the peak of the pandemic. Right now the pandemic is still out there. It's still real. The COVID is still out there, but a lot of people vaccinated. I'm vaccinated. My kids, my wife vaccinated. So it wasn't as much fear as far as contracting COVID or passing it around. Whatever. We had a good time. Good food, good drinks. Everybody had a good time back at home. And that's ultimately what it's all about. It's all about being around family, man. And I do want to speak on Angela Stanton one more time. She, that interview was really, really, I don't know. It was really impressive to me to see a woman speak the way she spoke. Not to say that women can't speak that way. It's just that I'm not for the person who agrees with every single thing and go along with every single thing. I find that kind of suspect. That person who is always saying yeah, okay, and agreeing with every single thing. I believe that either they are just not a smart person, or they have some kind of motive. You know what I mean? So hearing her speak about pro-life, to be particular, that was refreshing. That was a fresh breath of air for me. And I just hope that I said it before, I hope Kwame bring her on, man, more often. If you can bring her on at least once a week, or maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month, that would be awesome. Nobody can tell you how things are better than the person who's experienced those things. And she's been in the prison system. She said she was handcuffed to a bed while giving birth. Think about that, man. First of all, men, we can't give birth. Not right now. Maybe 10, 15 years from now, they'll somehow figure out how to transplant a uterus and ovaries and all that stuff. I'm not trying to be funny. I know people probably, but yeah, we can't have babies. We can't have a child, men. And I've been in a room when my wife gave birth to my two youngest kids. And that's an experience I don't even think, I'm like, I don't see how a woman can do that. It's so much going on when you witness that. So much going on at one time. So much joy, yet so much physical pain. I was elated when my daughter was born. She was just, Anyway, she was handcuffed to a bed, giving birth to her child. So that's where we're at right now in humanity. This woman is in labor, giving birth, but you got her handcuffed to a bed, and she was in prison for a non-violent crime. And this may be a little political, but for all you guys who have never seen the Netflix documentary 13th, done by Ava DuVernay. I think her name is Ava DuVernay. Forgive me with the names. I tell you, I'm a working man. I don't have time to be researching people and stuff like that. But Ava DuVernay, I think her name is. She's something else too, as far as what she's doing on the movie scene and how she came about being a movie director. 13th is talking about, it's the 13th Amendment, and it's basically breaking down our country versus the world, how many people we have in prison versus the world. I'm not going to throw numbers out there because I'll mess them all up. I need you guys to go watch the documentary. I don't want to mess the numbers up. But our country versus the entire world, our prison system versus the entire world, and then the amount of black men we have in prison versus the entire world. The numbers are outrageous. Like I said, I don't want to throw the numbers out there because I will mess them up, I guarantee. Go watch 13th on Netflix. It's a documentary. And I thought about that because I just thought about Miss Angela Stanton, who said she was handcuffed to a bed while giving birth. If you watch that documentary, you'll see exactly why. And you'll realize that yeah, that's a possibility. Yeah. I know the title is going to be Kwame Brown Effect, but I also want to talk about some other things. One thing in particular is rehabilitating prisoners. They had a lady, and this may sound kind of weird, but they had a lady named Jane Goodall. She could teach monkeys how to do sign language, communicate with sign language. And I used to say, if they can teach a monkey how to do sign language, why can't they rehabilitate a prisoner? Why is that? Why is that so mind-boggling? Because you have prisoners get out of prison and go back within the year. I know people who've gotten out of prison, who've done 5, 6, 8 years, get out, within a couple months they're back in there. And rehabilitation does not stop once you get out. I think that they should have programs in place. Now, I'm not saying a halfway house and go find a job and all that, because I know about the halfway houses. I've been to halfway houses. I'm talking about years and years down the line. Instead of trying to rehabilitate these people, we take away voting rights. They can't get a passport. They can't leave the country. And I can understand some, but that's the average prisoner who the average inmate or the average felon. If you get out and you have a felony charge, then I mean, it's not the easiest thing to get out there and prosper as a human being. Let alone, take care of a family if you got a family. It's hard enough taking care of yourself once you get out of prison. And a lot of guys that get out, they got kids. There's a lot that needs to be exposed. There's a lot that needs to be exposed. Not just the people that are in this get along, go along game. There's a whole system in place. They talk about systematic racism, but there's also a whole system in place that's just set against anybody doing anything other than what they're doing, It's almost like a maze, a rat. Ever see one of those mazes that they put the mice in? They got a maze set up, and you're going the direction they want you to go in. Wherever they put that cheese at, that's how you're going. I heard somebody talking about the projections that are made, like when a kid is in kindergarten, they can make a projection on that class. The amount of kids who are going to go to prison, in accordance to the class, the school district, that should be against ethical laws in making a prediction like that. We're in a tight spot, people. We're in a tight spot. But I'm a very optimistic person. I'm an optimist by nature. I've always been an optimist by nature. And I guess, it may be my time to start showing some of that optimism. Because optimism is like it's like the flu. It's easy to catch. Easy to catch. So I'm almost at 30 minutes here. I got a conference call in a little bit. A conference call while I'm driving. I don't know. Yeah, so I got a lot more in me, y'all. I'm not going to be that flash in the pan. I got a lot more in me. I got years and years of thoughts. A lot of those thoughts come out in books. And before I get off this, if you hadn't been to the website yet, take a look at it. I'm a writer. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina. Grew up in a small town called Dorchester, South Carolina. I've been all over the world. I've lived all over the world. Lived all over the country. I've lived in Germany, Korea. Been to Budapest, Hungary. Been to Bosnia. Been to Iraq several times. Been to Kuwait several times. Been to Afghanistan several times. Lived in Texas a little while. Lived in California. What else? Lived in Maryland a little while. New York. And I say live, but really it's been just me traveling with my job a lot of times. So I've actually lived in Germany and Korea and Kuwait. So yeah, I've been all over the place. Jamaica, that was vacation. Love Jamaica. But I'm pretty well traveled. I'm on my third passport. Well, I should be on my third passport. My second one is about to expire, I think. The first one, I think I filled up with stamps. And that's not bragging or anything. I'm just letting people know that, you know, when I get on video and I start talking, I'm supporting Kwame and all this stuff. I'm not a guy who's never left my hometown or my state. I'm from South Carolina, but I've been all over the place. And I'm still moving all over the place. So I'm pretty well versed. I've met a lot of people. Got a lot of friends. But yeah, so if you like the content, like, subscribe. I'm still loving you guys. I'm still feeling you guys. Hope the feeling is still mutual. And if you hadn't gotten a book yet, and you're a reader, you like to read, or you know somebody that like to read, you can go to writethisway.com. That's WRITEDISWAY.com and purchase your book. And all of my books are on Amazon as well. So if you look at my website, I don't have the best website. It's a little ghetto-fied, but you know, it gets the job done. But if you don't like the website, you can always go on Amazon. You know. So that's all I got for now, guys. I'm gonna try to upload this video using my data, and we'll go from there. Shout out again to Kwame Brown, Self Talk, Carcino. I think it's been real. I think his name. I've seen his videos. It's a lot. It's a lot out there these days. It's a lot out there. You guys have a wonderful Tuesday. Until next time, be blessed.